the whole Bangladesh community for the very warm welcome they gave us today in these naval days. Before I can start, I will illustrate during this brief presentation the characteristic of this unit, showcasing the most modern and technological equipments we have on board. Before I start, I have to say something. You will not find another ship like this in all around the world. We have some very typical and unique features and equipment on board. You can easily recognize this ship by the double bow, which is made for increase our performances in terms of speed. This ship is able to perform a speed which is above 32 knots. During the commissioning period, the ship reached a very high speed of 34 knots, so it's very unique. This double bow also works along a very powerful propulsion system here on board and two huge propellers, 5 meters of diameter. And also another unique characteristic is I call it the diamond-shaped bridge. We have a fixed phase radar, it's a mixed-ray band radar, and we adopted this kind of shape of the bridge to enhance the radar performances. So let's say this ship is very unique as technological at the same time. We are actually the newest ship in the Italian Navy. We were launched in May 2020. The first sea trial was in November 2020, which is a very important step for the shipbuilding. And we were commissioned in October 2022. So we are the youngest but also the newest ship in our Italian Navy. Talking about numbers, the ship is long 144 meters. The displacement is pretty much a frigate, which is because it's 6,200 tons. The maximum drop is at the propellers 8.2 meters. This characteristic comes alongside the principle to have a very high speed in terms of powerful propulsion system. The total power on board is 52 megawatts, and the maximum speed, as I said before, is above 32 knots. The crew on board is there is a part which is permanent. I'm talking about 137 guys, but when the ship is involved in a deployment like this sort of deployment, you can have the helo guys, the maritime acquisition operation teams, and so on. So we have now 170 people on board. Talking about the propulsion, as I said before, it's very powerful. I'm talking about 52 megawatts of power. We have in yellow the traditional gas turbine, 32 megawatts of power. In red, two traditional diesel engines, but they are not traditional as I said, because the speed in this case is 25 knots. So we can reach the speed of 25 knots only using the diesel engines. With the gas turbine, in this case, the speed is 27. You can combine those two systems, two propulsion systems, to reach our maximum speed, which is above 32 knots. We also have in orange two electrical engines, 1.6 megawatts of power each one. In this case, the speed is 10 knots, but they are very important because they can also work as generators in order to save working hours on our remaining 4 diesel engines that we have on board to produce electric power. So, as you can understand, it's a very complex propulsion system, but very easy to manage, to handle. We have more than 30 different propulsion configurations, from the most cheaper in terms of fuel consumption, which is the electrical propulsion, from the most expensive one, but most operational, managing this speed. The project brings together 3 pillars, which are flexibility, modularity, and technology. Let's start with the flexibility. When I'm talking about flexibility, I'm referring to the possibility to fit the combat system for a very wide spectrum of capabilities. Inside the project, we have 3 different configurations, which are light, like this ship, light plus, and full. There are some features that are common for those 3 configurations. I'm talking about the 5-inch main caliber gun, 127.64 gun, which is mainly used for naval gunfire and anti-surface target engagement. It's very, very innovative because you can handle your cannon ammunition to reach a very extended range of action. I'm talking about 100 kilometers. You can also manage rounds that are able to be guided on GPS, so they can actually perform a sort of land attack or very precise engagement. Another common feature is the 3-inch main caliber gun just above our heads, above the angle, which is mainly used for anti-air engagement and anti-missile engagement. The system is also very technological, very new. It's like the most technological gun we have on board. It can also work as a closing weapon system. It's completely automatic. You just need to load it, to put on remote mode and use it. Another system which is in common are those 2 small caliber guns, 25 millimeters. which also can work for closed-loop weapon system, and also they have an infrared and TV tracker, so they can actually work automatically or used by the operators. Those three configurations can also two medium-wave helicopter, SH-19, we have one of those on board, or instead one heavy helicopter, which is EH-101. Moving to the light class configuration. Mainly the light class configuration is most used for anti-air warfare. So in addition to those all equipments I was talking about, we have a C-band radars, also fixed phases, and we are working to have the ballistic missile defense capability with this C-band radar. Also, we have two missile cells that can operate 16 missiles, ASTER-15 and ASTER-30. So we are talking about a defense bubble of at least 25-30 nautical miles. So very war-fighting capability. And the full one is also equipped with the anti-submarine warfare, with a towed array system and also an acoustic chain to detect torpedoes and so on. Initially, in the very beginning, the project where the Italian Navy was based on 2 light, 3 light class and 2 full, but we are investing to have 3 light class and 4 full ships. So we're talking about a very huge investment, but very as a backup, a very huge warfighting capability that we will have in a very short future. This is the picture we made when we were hosting 2 medium-wave helicopters. At the very beginning of our campaign, when it was the 6th of April, we left our home port, which is the La Spezia and Ligurian region. This slide sums up some of the equipment I was talking about. In green, you see the light equipments. In blue, the light class equipments. In red, the full capability. Moving to modularity. The Italian Navy wanted also a ship not only able to perform warfighting operation, but also to perform a dual-use capability in operations. So we decided to have 2 huge modular areas, one on the main deck at the center of the ship, that can also, or alternative, 2 cranes with 2 rigs on board, or instead a lot of containers up to 80 tons of general materials or humanitarian aids. And also we have a very huge modular areas at the stern that can then be configured upon the mission you need to accomplish. We have a medical compound, the modular area which is at the stern can host 5 containers of 20 each one. So you can have a medical compound to have a surgery room and 2 intensive care beds, or a configuration for supporting the special operations forces in order to have more rigs and more special operations forces materials. Also just for transport, general storage, palletized or inside the containers. Also lodging compound, and also a very important capability, which is electrical compound to provide electrical power ashore. So we can not only provide electrical power, but we can also provide fresh water. So we're talking about at least 100 cubic meters of fresh water and 2 megawatts of electric power. So in case of disaster relief operation, this ship can play a very important role. And the last but not the least, let's say, we are talking about technology. We decided to borrow from the Air Force guys the concept of naval cockpit. We invented a cockpit which is able to operate and handle the ship with only 2 officers. It is placed inside our bridge. It is mainly organized like inside a helicopter. We have only 2 seats. On the left side, we have the pilot man, which is able to handle the ship, change the configuration propulsion, and also manage everything he needs about the platform. On the other side, we have the co-pilot, which is a most senior officer. He can also supervise the duty of pilot, but actually he has in his hand the accomplishment of the mission. I delegated to him the mission, and also he can operate all the tactical means we have on board, including the self-defense weapons. There are 2 self-defense weapons directly linked with naval cockpit. We are talking about 2 small caliber guns, 25 millimeters, and 2 long-range acoustic devices. Are such a kind of warner. They can also emit words, just to say, be aware, avoid my position, open the distance, or instead emitting a very disturbing noise to avoid any threats coming inbound our unit. So, as I said before, the pilot is mainly responsible for the navigation management, the platform and propulsion management. The co-pilot supervises the duty of the pilot, but he can also manage the sensor, tactical means, and the weapons for self-defense. Few words regarding the crew. I just said we have a permanent part, which are 137. Now we have 170 people on board, including the DODs, the Hilo guys, and the Maritime Petition Operation teams. A quick overview of our history, which is a very short history, but very important for us. We were delivered in October 2022. We had a very preliminary training just for learn the basic for go at sea. Then we moved in Taranto, where I placed our training center for the basic training for warfighting capabilities. Very hard, very basic, but very hard at the same time. We learn a lot about the damage control. Also, we learn with instructors how to manage this ship because it's very new. We made a lot of courses during the construction of the ship, but we know the theory, but we need to put in place in practical ways what we learned during our courses. And then we came back to our own port in La Spezia just to build up a little maintenance and be prepared for our mission. We sailed on the 6th of April from our country, and then we will be back in the late September. So my briefing is finished. If you have any kind of question, I'm here for you.
Let's talk naval ship. Commissioned just 8 months before. So I want to know what is the main aim and how the navies of the two countries would be benefited through this 4-day long visit. Okay.
First of all, we are here just to sort of have a naval diplomacy campaign. We have a lot of friends all around the world, so we are not able to be here very often. So we decide to use a very nice ship, a very new ship to be here for a naval diplomacy campaign in order to, strengthen and increase our relationship with the navies, which are normally on the other side of the globe, but very close in terms of collaboration and cooperation. And also, you know better than me how important are those seas for the merchant community, for the maritime community. So we are here to support everything regarding the sea, the free sea, the use of the sea under order of the law, the international law. So mainly we are here to strengthen our relationship as we have made during our last port call and we will do during our next port calls. It's also an opportunity to train ourselves because just an example, we came here escorted by a ship from your navy, and during this activity we had a small training. It is very useful to understand each other. We have different procedures, we have a different training, but it's very important to work together at sea to exchange some of our professionalism. So I hope I answer your question.
Another question, the ship have any facilities to combat environmental disaster like oil spilling or other environmental disaster?
Come again?
The ship have any facilities to combat environmental disaster like oil spilling or other environmental disaster?
Okay, we have two researchers on board, which are from our Earth Institute, National Earth Institute. They are conducting the activity to build up those capabilities. In the next future, coming back to the concept of modularity, the Italian Navy is buying also compound for disaster relief in a whole sense, including the oil spill activities, including the to see the sea what's going on under the waterline and put in place measures to increase the air for our seas. So the answer is yes.
Thank you, sir.